Good afternoon, Spurs fans. Welcome to, Monday lunchtime here in Brisbane, Australia, Queensland. Just thought I'd put a shortish video up about the game today. I did get up and watch it at some ungodly hour, 2:30 this morning. Was it worth getting up for? Well, it was a win. We won, yes. But I've got to say, first of all, thank you to my wonderful... Try and get it in shot. No, can't get it in shot. Professional here. Wonderful brother for getting that for me for Christmas. Wonderful... I guess you call it a throw run. But yeah, sensational. I'll put it up like that. There we go. That's better. Yeah, to Tottenham Hotspur. Today is to do. Beautiful, very soft. Must thank my brother for that. That was awesome Christmas present. So yeah, the game wasn't worth getting up at 2:30 in the morning. As I say, probably not. But as I say, it was a win. We went out 4 points off fifth. That's the way we got to look at it. Starting lineup was, it's probably, I think that's got to be his way forward. Bergvall and Gray, a lot of people have been bagging out Gray the last few weeks, but scored a goal. And Bergvall, even I'm a bit worried about what his injury is. Looked like a groin injury. I'm not sure. It didn't look too good, but seemed like he was in a bit of pain. So hopefully that won't be long term. But yeah, I think the only way you could sum that game up is it was two teams that were probably not in the best of form and probably going to end up mid-table. It wasn't pretty. They had chances. We had, could have been 3 or 4-0, or it could have been 2-2, 3-3, because they had a few set piece chances too, with some headers going over the bar and whatnot. But yeah, it's just there seems to be a bit of a gap between when you watch. But then again, Arsenal haven't been playing tremendous football. We all talk about that we want to see great football and the like, but even Arsenal, it's a bit stodgy. It's not free flowing. I guess the ones you got to look at is Man City. They're probably the ones that are playing the better type of football, and even though I haven't watched a lot of their games, I just watched a few of the ones that have started early, and they seem to be getting back to some of the form that they showed during their reign, which might be a bit nerve-wracking for the guys up the road, hopefully. But it was, again, it's hard to even review the game. It was just like a nothing type game. You could go through all the players, and it was just a ho-hum type game to watch. When you get up at 2:30, it was a struggle to stay awake to watch it, to be honest. But we've got to win. I believe who we got. We got go on. There you go. There's doing your research. We got I can't remember who we got at home next. But apparently, you look at there's a few games quite close to one another. I think there's only like 2 or 3 days break between the next 4 or 5 games, which is going to be a struggle, I guess, to do any rotation if Frank wants to do that. But it'll be an interesting phase to go through this, and again, the fan base it'll be interesting to see their take on it. A win followed by a couple of draws or a couple of losses, what will happen to the fan base? So who knows? Hopefully during the festive season, they'll be a bit more forgiving and a bit more hopeful in their thing. And as a lot of people have been saying, even if we were to get rid of Frank, who are you going to bring in? That'll be the next big question. But it's going to be a bit of a tough run, I think, over the next couple of weeks with the short turnaround between games. And as I say, the Bergvall injury didn't look too flash when you first saw him come off, and when he was walking down, it seemed like a bit of a groin strain to me. I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor, but it'll be when that comes to light, it'll be an interesting scenario, because we haven't got Xavi for another couple of games, which is a bit of a bummer in the Premier League. So it might be time. Get the young guys out from the academy. Let's give them a crack. We always talk about these, the young guys that we've got and all this sort of stuff, and maybe we should. It's time to start bringing, like Scarlett, even bring him in for 20 minutes at the end of the game. I saw he was on the bench today, but didn't get a run, which was a bit unfortunate. But maybe we need to start blooding these guys in to give them a bit of a run and to see how they pan out in the first team. There's a lot of other teams that are playing young players. They're playing the 17, the 18, the 19-year-olds. They're putting them in the Premier League against quality opposition. We always seem to have a bit of a, even with Ange, he did during the Europa League. He put those three guys on that all scored their goals. We didn't see much of them afterwards. And I'm a big Ange supporter, as you all know. And they sort of started those games and or came on during those games, scored their goals, but we didn't see much of them afterwards. I got to bite the bullet at some stage. And as I've said in, I think, one of my other videos, we've got to start doing this, because if we want to compete on all four levels in Europe and all that, we have to work out our club-trained situation, our homegrown talent. We've got to start looking at these things, for the next couple of years as well, not just for this year, which I think we a couple of players short in the squad because we haven't got enough club trained players. So we need to start this forward thinking. It's all well and good to say, we need to buy all these players. Yeah, we can buy all these players, but if we buy 6 players and 3 of them can't be in the Champions League squad, what's the point? We're buying players for depth, but we need to sort out our club trained and homegrown situation. If we're going to sign players, then we need to be able to allow them to play. Luckily with this, luckily or unluckily, however you want to look at it, with the Solanke situation, Tell got a reprieve and now he's in the squad. But if you, touch wood, we qualify for some sort of European competition next year, that we're going to have a squad that we can pick 25. Well, I'm not sure what the European squad is. Is it 23 or something? And you've got to have so many of the 4 club trained and whatever the situation is. 17, I think, foreign players and 4 of each of the club trained and homegrown. But if we haven't got enough of them, we're going to be short, and it just that goes. You need to have your top quality players available to play in Europe, and if we don't get this situation sorted, it's going to be an ongoing situation, I think. But a win's a win. We'll stay positive. Just looking at Frank's press conferences, and he's compared to the fresh face he had at the start, he's looking a bit tired, and So hopefully this will be the 2 step forward that we need, and we just need a bit of a run on now. As you know, a few of the channels have said, 3 or 4 wins on the trot, bang, you know, you're up there. But in saying that, 2 or 3 losses on the trot, you're down in the quagmire, down below. And that's, I guess, the beauty of having so many teams probably being inconsistent. You know, there's not many, with the exception of probably Aston Villa and Man City, have gone on a run where they've won so many games in a row. Like Aston Villa are just carving it up. Well, they got third. Like I remember a video I did right at the start of the season when I did a preview for our Aston Villa game, and I thought, oh yeah, they're going crap. We should win that. I don't think we did, and ever since then, I think it was the first 4 or 5 games they only won 1 or something, and now they've won, I think, 10 or 11 on the trot. So it can happen. Whether the style of football we're playing at the moment will allow us to do that, who knows? But you know, you do get a roll. We need to sort out our home form. Again, I heard this morning, I think after the game, when they were doing an interview, that we've got we've still got the best away record, and we come in 11th. So turn the home form around, get the crowd behind us, and pump on and get on. Get 2026 will be the year, I reckon. That's going to be our year. So, you know, we'll go on a run, finish in the hopefully top 4, maybe even top 5, whatever it is that we will get for Champions League. Do a good run in the Champions League, qualify. We might have to go through the knockout stage, which and someone said this morning that our games are either side of the derby with them up the road, which that's going to be tough. That'll be a tough week. That'll be. And let's hope that we get there. We get into the last 16, last 8 or something. Anything could happen in those games. It's a knockout, 2 legs, I believe. So you just never know. We might finish 12th and qualify through Champions League by winning it. How good would that be? Oh my God! Thomas will get a statue then. And could you imagine the parade? Oh my goodness! Wow, that would be insane. Especially if it's against them up the road. Oh my God, that would be hilarious. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. As I say, please, I didn't do a preview for this game. I'm on holidays and it's been a bit of a lazy few days. So I thought I'd do a review of this one. And as I say, bloody mental. Oh, Brentford. That's right. We've got Brentford. Oh, yes. That's going to be the Thomas Frank Derby again, away from home. So that's going to be a tough game. So hopefully with a bit of New Year's cheer and a positive outlook into 2026, that we'll come away with a win there and get on a bit of a roll. How good would that be? All right, guys. As I say, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. Always like hearing comments. And hopefully this will be the start. And I'll just do this. I'll just pat the badge. There we go. Come on, you Spurs. Let's go.